I'm just going to clear all of this on the screen now. I'm just going to clear all of this on the screen now and give us a much easier example. Now, we just looked at the fact that foreign exchange is something that is concurrently ongoing. It's a global reality. It's something that defines or describes how that commodities are being exchanged and traded for one another. All right, and that's basically what we do. And I just gave us the example of Jacob and his brother Eben. You know, we saw that Jacob had 2 million naira at the point where $1 was equivalent to 165 naira. And when he was traveling to the United States and he changed that 2 million naira to dollar, we saw that his 2 million naira was equivalent to over $12,000. And then we saw that his brother Eben, at the point where Eben was going to travel to the same United States, but because there has been a change in the exchange rate, Eben is only going to end up with $4,656. All right. And then we saw that that was actually describing or showing us how that the exchange rate fluctuates and continues to do that on a consistent basis. Now, to further explain that, imagine that you are a business person, you are a trader, all right? I'm about to ask us a question now with an illustration, and I need to get our responses in the group chat, all right? Can we all hear me? So the question is this: picture yourself as a trader, all right? And then you have a choice between two commodities. You have a choice between two products that you want to buy. All right. Let's say, for example, you have you have to choose between IPO and JIC. All right. You have to choose between the two of them to sell. Now, one sachet of IPO is 15 naira. All right. One sachet of JIC is 20 naira. Okay. And now you go to the market and you're about to buy one of these two. But somehow you have heard or you've received news that because JIC is now 20 naira, people are no longer looking for it because they feel it is too expensive. All right. Or you just got an information that a company needs a supply of about 6,000 packets of any one of these two. They just need somebody who can supply to them 6,000 packets, and they will pay any amount that you bill them to pay. All right, and you have to buy one of these two. Okay. Now remember, your target is to make the maximal profit. All right. So let me ask: if you were that trader and you went to the market and you had these two choices, IPO and JIC, a sachet of IPO is 15 naira, a sachet of JIC is 20 naira, and a company wants to buy 6,000 packs. A pack of IPO contains 50 sachets. A pack of JIC also contains 50 sachets. So let me ask, which of these two commodities are you going to buy and why? Please drop your answer in the group chat sections, please. I am awaiting our responses right now. Are you going to go for IPO? Are you going to go for JIC? Remember, you have a contract to supply 6,000 packets. 6,000 packets. And you are going in for the maximum profit, whichever one will give you the maximum profit. The company does not care about the name of the brand or the producer. They just want 6,000 packets of any good bleach, So which of these two are you going to buy to sell to the company? Is it going to be IPO or is it going to be JIC? Your responses, please. I'm waiting. All right. Madam Grace Okpayemi, thank you so much. Your response has been seen and noted. All right, Mr. Shion Dada, thank you so much. All right, I am awaiting more responses. All right, Mr. Kolawole, thank you so much. Okay, so we have 3 IPOs now and no jig. Okay, so do we have anyone who is going for jig? Now would be a good time to speak up before the IPOs win the market. All right, Mr. Ifeoluwa, thank you so much. We also buy IPO. All right, Mr. Olada Korbansari, also IPO. Mr. Michael, IPO. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, we are all beginning to understand the psychology behind the market scenarios. All right, Mr. Ifeoluwa said he's going to buy IPO unless the quality is bad and would damage his business's reputation. Now, remember, both of them are actually good. All right, because in the financial market, every commodity is good. Okay, every commodity is good. It just depends on how much profit margin each one of them will be capable of giving you in return. All right, so we already have a majority with IPO. If anybody is thinking jig right now, you are arriving late to the party, and that means that you just lost this debate. So the IPOs have it. Bam. Thank you very much. So that said, we are all going to be going for IPO because IPO is cheaper and it's going to give us a higher risk-reward ratio. It's going to give us a higher return, rather. It's going to give us a higher return. So that said, in the Forex market, we are always looking forward to buy things at their cheapest. All right. And then sell them at a high rate. All right. Now, I'm going to quickly ask us another question. This is going to be a little bit more technical or tactical, but all the same, it's a simple one to answer. You just need to give it a little more thought than this previous one. So the question is this. Imagine that someone is, let me say, iPhone 12. All right. Now, let's imagine that Apple decides that they are only going to produce 200 pieces of iPhone 12. They're only going to produce 200 pieces. All right. Now, and then you want to go into the market. You want to start selling iPhone 12, and you have enough money to buy all of these 200. You have enough money to buy all of the 200. Will you buy all the 200 iPhones? Yes or no? Tell me that in the comment section right now. I'm waiting for our responses. Apple decides to produce just 200 pieces of iPhone 12s, and you have more than enough money to buy all of the 200 pieces. Will you buy them? Please give me your responses in the comment section right away. I'm awaiting our responses. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Awo Michael, thank you for your response. You wouldn't buy all of the 12, all right? Mr. Albansari Oladapo, you will buy all of the 12. Beautiful, because it will give you more power to control the price. Beautiful. All right, I'm awaiting the rest of our responses. Miss Grace, thank you so much. All right, so we have 2 yeses and 1 no. We are still waiting. The majority carries the vote. Majority carries the vote. Mr. Sheldada, thank you. You will buy all of them and resell at higher price. Beautiful. I have amazing traders in the house already. Okay, so we have 3 yeses now. 4 yeses now. Beautiful. 4 yeses and still counting. Do we have anyone that wants to say no? Please come and tell us. If your answer is no, please let us know. All right, so while the rest of the responses are coming in, let's just move on. So already we are beginning to understand the concept that drives price. So what I'm simply saying is, if one person buys all of these 200 iPhones, let's say for example, he buys all of them at 250,000 naira. All right, iPhone 12 is more expensive than that. All right, Mr. Ifeoluwa Oyediro says no. He says, because you don't know, I don't know if I will be able to market the product yet, since there are no existing users yet, which is also a good response. But still, the yeses are still in charge of the market. We still have more yeses, so the majority still carries the vote. While we are waiting for more responses, I want to quickly dissect the response that I've received so far. So let's say, for example, you buy each of the iPhones for 250,000 naira. Please note, iPhone 12 is more expensive than this. The last I checked, one iPhone 12 brand new is about 450. No, I think it was, I can't remember precisely how much now, but I think 450 thereabouts. All right, so this is 250,000 naira, and it buys all of the 200 pieces. All right. Now, because he has all of the 200 with him, he can now begin to conveniently dictate how much he wants to resell to the market. He can decide to sell each one for 300,000. He can decide to start with 250,000, sell the first 50 pieces for 250,000, sell another 10 for 300,000, sell another 10 for 320,000, sell another 20 for 350,000, sell, and continue increasing the price like that, like that, like that. At the end of the day, he can sell the last 10 pieces for as high as 500,000 naira. Whereas he got each of those phones or each of those pieces of gadgets for 250,000 naira. All right. Do we understand what I'm trying to explain? Do we all understand the scenario right now? Because he controls all of it, he can easily manipulate the price in his favor. Because there is no competition, there is nothing whatsoever. So basically, when he sells the initial 50 pieces for 250,000 naira, he just does that to be able to pull in, to attract the first phase of demand. All right, the first phase of demand. And then later on, as demand begins to flow, if you remember correctly, according to economics, the higher the demand, the higher the price. Because the lower the price, the higher the quantity demanded. All right, and the higher the quantity demanded, the lower the supply. So when you create scarcity of a commodity, the more scarce a commodity becomes, the more expensive it is. All right. For example, now you cannot compare the price of a sachet of water here in Nigeria or where you're staying right now to a sachet or a bottle of water in the desert. Are we all following me, please? If you understand what I'm saying, just say whatever it is you want to say in the group chat. For example, if I buy a sachet of pure water for 10 naira where I'm staying currently, Mr. Shiondada, thank you for your response. Do you have a question? If you do, please type it in the group chat section so I can see. And if not, thank you so much for your response. All right, so a sachet of water in the same sachet of water in a desert would definitely cost more. Why? Because in the desert, there is a scarcity of supply for water. And by virtue of that scarcity, price definitely will increase. Do you understand? So the same applies to this iPhone merchant. He wants to sell all of the 200 pieces and he wants to control the price. So he becomes a monopolist in the commodity market so that he can ensure that all of the price responds to him and he can control supply at will. And by controlling supply, he can be able to dictate when to increase price or when to drop price. And actually, this is why Bitcoin is constantly increasing upwards. if you know about what is called Bitcoin halving, it simply talks about deducting or splitting in half the reward for mining one Bitcoin. There is actually a limited supply of Bitcoins in the overall global market. Is a limited supply. And by reducing the reward that miners get for mining Bitcoin, they are the creator of Bitcoin is simply monitoring or managing or controlling the supply of Bitcoin to ensure that it continues to get scarcer and scarcer so that the price or the value can continue to increase higher and higher. All right, so if you understood it this far, can you please raise a hand, say a shout out, or drop a comment in the group chat? I need to take a sip of water. Thank you very much. I'm awaiting our responses. All right, beautiful. So I believe we've followed me this far. All right, so the major thing we are going to be doing in the Forex market would be to ensure that regardless what happens in the market, we are able to buy things when they are cheap and sell them at a point where they are expensive. All right? At a point where they are expensive. Miss Grace, thank you for raising your hand. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. I appreciate. All right, so now that brings us to the next statement. The ability to accurately perceive value is what the skill of trading is all about. I believe we got that. The ability to accurately, when we say accurately, we're talking about accurate prescription. The ability to accurately perceive value is what the skill of trading is all about. So this is a quick fact for you guys to just ginger you, to encourage you, so that you know what we are in for. So did you know that 6.6 trillion, I need you to hear that, $6.6 trillion is traded every single day in the Forex market? Did you get that? $6.6 trillion. Trillion. All right? Trillion. So whenever anyone tells you that the Forex market is a scam, there is no money to be made in the Forex market, I want you to bear this in mind, that there is $6.6 trillion floating around in the Forex market. All right? And if you are fortunate enough to be able to capture 0.00001% of $6.6 trillion dollars every single day, you are still going to be a big boy. All right? I'm going to just calculate that now so that we can see. All right, times 0. I said 0.000, so the zeros are 5. In fact, let me make the zeros 9. So if you make 0.00, that's 9 zeros and then 1 every single day, it means that you would be making $660 every day. $660 every day, which according to the current exchange rate is equivalent to a sum of 290,400 naira every single day. If you're excited about that, just clap for yourself, or just drop an emoji or a smiley or whatever in the comment section, so that I know that you are happy to be making money like I'm interested in showing you. All right, Miss Grace, your response is received. Thank you. Who else is excited about this? All right, Mr. Ifeoluwa, nice to see you are excited. The truth is, there is money to be made. There is so much money to be made in the Forex market. Don't let anyone deceive you about it. I am a personal, I am a personal testimony to that fact. Okay, let me give you a brief background to how I got into the foreign exchange market. I've been trading the financial markets since I was in 300 level. My pastor at the time, Apostle A.U. Charles, introduced me to Forex trading. And when he introduced me to Forex, I was really not interested because from my 300 level, I already had a job in Lagos. I was working as a content editor. I was working as the editor-in-chief for a company. You can Google it, RevoCube Technologies. And I was doing quite well. The pay was encouraging, at least for a student. All right. Now, I just learned to trade Forex, and I was just managing and just trading it on a low key. All right. Until when I finished my youth service and then got a job in Lagos and understood how stressful it is to actually make 90,000, 200,000 naira a month in Nigeria. That was when I realized that it's time to take Forex very, very seriously. Currently, I pastor a church in Ilorin, Kwara State, full-time. I'm a full-time pastor, but my experience in the Forex market and the income I make from the Forex market is my major source of income. Is my major source of income. I know some of you know pastors that take salaries, but Forex pays my salary. All right? Forex pays my salary. So if anyone tells you there's no money in Forex, let them know that it's not true. All right? I've been trading Forex since I was in 300 level. My parents, my family members did not believe that it was real, but I have become the proof to them that it actually is real. And you can also become such a testimony. You can also become a proof to the fact that Forex is real. All right? Forex is real. So I know Mr. Obasari Oladapo said he's not yet excited about it. No problem. In due time, you will be excited. All right? I don't trade every day, but on the average, every time I trade, I make a minimum of $100 every single day that I decide to trade. All right? I make a minimum of $100. And $100 is about 44,000 naira. Okay? It's about 44,000 naira. If I trade for 10 days in a month, 10 days in a month, that's 440,000 naira. It is more than what so many people get as a salary for working 9 to 5. And I make that in approximately less than 2 hours. In 1 or 2 hours, I've made my entire $100 and then I close for the day. I sleep, sip a carton of juice or whatever, and I just live my life, all right? So I want you to know that this thing is real. So back to business, all right? In the Forex market, remember back to the iPhone example that we gave, we saw that one person had to buy all of the quantities in order to stay in power, all right, to be able to dictate the price. The same way in the Forex market, there are particular people or particular organizations that control, or let me say that are the major stakeholders or shareholders in the foreign exchange market. All right, there are some market players that move the market. Some of them are called whales. They call some of them whales simply because whales describe a very large, mammal that lives in water. You know the definition of what a whale is now. So they call them whales because whenever they step into the market, they shake the market. All right. So there's the hierarchy of the Forex market is what I'm showing you on my screen right now. We have the major banks. We have the electronic brokering services, which are the brokers now, the trading brokers. We have the medium-sized banks and the small banks. Then we have the retail market makers. We have the retail electronic exchange services. We have the hedge funds and commercial companies. And then here comes the very little us, the very important us, the retail traders. And as you can see, we are at the base of the pyramid. We are at the base of the pyramid. So that tells you one thing about us. All right. That tells you one thing about us. Because we are at the base of the pyramid, all right, that tells you that we have the highest number with the least effect. All right. So there are more retail traders in the Forex market than there are banks. All right. The number of banks, brokers, whales in the market is nothing compared to the number of retail traders in the market. But the number is just big for nothing. If you really want to be safe in the financial market, you need to at least flow with the big boys at the top here. Sorry about the break in the meeting. I think a call came in, so I got disconnected. But can you hear me now, please? Can everybody hear me now? I needed to attend to something. All right, thank you. It's good to know. Yeah, it's good to know that we are still here. We are still here. Okay. All right. Some people left when they noticed that I wasn't around, but thank God everybody's back here now. So I'm gonna mute everybody to ensure that we are all together. We are all together. All right. I believe that everyone is everyone's mic has been muted, and I'm currently recording, so we can have a review of this. All right, so like I was saying, let me quickly go back to the pyramid I was drawing. All right, so I was showing us the pyramid. Hey, it will see my pyramid. All right, and I showed us that this upper tier is where the big boys play. All right, the banks, the whales. This is where they play. All right, they are very few in number, but they move the market crazily. Like their influence on the market is insane. All right, and then this is where we settle. All right, this is where we settle. Retailers like us. So I was showing us that the safest way or the best way to actually maximize your profitability in the Forex market is to know that even though you are the majority, respect these people at the top here, because they are the real legends. All right, they are the real pros that determine what actually happens to us. All right, they are the ones that actually determine what happens in the foreign exchange market. So that said, we always love to trade in the direction of where those big boys are going. All right, it is always preferable and safer to go in their direction. So that's why I'm showing you this. That's why I'm showing you this. That's why I'm showing you this, so that you can be able to flow along, so that when you start trading, you will not fall victim of that assumption that you are the oyigi yigi of the forex market. All right, so that we don't become deceived like that. So that said, I'm going to go on to the next slide. Okay, so beautiful. So talking about the whales or the big banks that trade forex, or that play the very major roles in the forex market. So these are some of those banks. We have the Citibank, we have the JP Morgan, we have UBS Bank, Barclays, Dutch, and HSBC. Now, these 5 banks are okay. So now that you've told us all of these interesting, beautiful things, so how then do we now make money from this forex thing? The answer is simple. All right, the answer is simple. Before I go into that, I need us to understand that the foreign exchange market runs consistently, continuously, 24 hours a day for 5 days a week. 24 hours a day for 5 days a week. So it means that from Monday to Friday, the forex market continues to run like that non-stop. All right. And the reason is because there is a difference in time zones. And the variation in time zones means that at the point where somebody is intending to exchange money to for something, whether it's an import, an export, or for a trip abroad, is the point where another person is sleeping quietly in their own homes. All right. So the way the forex market is able to maintain the 24/5 cycle is by simply ensuring that there are sessions. All right, there are foreign exchange trading sessions. There are 3 major sessions in the foreign exchange market. Let me quickly show you that on a whiteboard. All right, so we have trading sessions. So the trades always begin with the Asian session. All right, so every trading week or every trading day begins from the Asian session. And the Asian session is majorly, I think, is based in Tokyo, Japan. All right, that's their like a capital of the of activities for that session. All right. Then after the Asian session, I'm coming, please. After the Asian, there are just 3 major what's it called now? There are 3 major sessions: the Asian session, the US session, and the New York. Sorry, and the UK session. Sorry, the US session, the UK session. So it's called the New York session. The US session now is called the New York session, and then the UK session is called the Great Britain session or the British session, whichever one you find more interesting. So these 3 sessions are actually the majority of the sessions where activities go on. All right, so those sessions, and then there are times when those sessions overlap. You know, there are times when for example, now we know that work basically is 9 to 5. All right, so there are times when the time is probably around 4 o'clock in one time zone, and at the same time is like about 9 a.m. in another time zone. All right, so at this point in time, it means that these 2 sessions, this one session is still open, is about to close, but it is still open. And then this new session is also opening up because it's 9 a.m. already. Okay, so that means that these 2 sessions are open together at the same time. So that's a session overlap. When things like that happen, we say that the sessions are overlapping. All right, and it usually happens with the US and UK sessions. It usually happens with the US and UK sessions. The New York sessions begins around 1 p.m. Nigerian time. Around 1 p.m. Nigerian time. And we know that the UK session begins around 8 a.m. Nigerian time. All right. So as at when the New York session opens up, the UK session is usually still very much open. All right. It's usually still very much open. So that said, let's come back to how exactly do I make money trading Forex? The answer is simple. I showed us when we started. The answer is pretty simple. You simply make money trading Forex by directing your choices right and maintaining good risk management principles. All right. Some of us are leaving already. Can we still hear me? Please, if you're still here, can I have your comments in the comment section? Or if you feel like we can stop here or we should stop here, please let me know. Do we feel like we should stop here? Because I see that about 3 people left already, 2 or 3 people left already. Should we stop here and continue next week, or can I continue? Can I go on? Because we still have a couple of things to discuss. All right. Okay, so I'll go on then. If we are fine, we continue. All right. All right. To the ladies in the house, please don't be offended. All right. Please don't be offended. This has nothing to do with me attacking ladies. But let's say, for example, you are a lady. All right. You're a lady, and then at 22 years old, you had let's say about 10 guys disturbing you for marriage. Okay, you had 10 guys disturbing you for marriage. At 24, all right, at 24, it increased. So now you have about 13 guys asking for your hand in marriage. Sister, now marry us now. We are begging now. Please now, do this now, do that now, help us now. All right. And then you still continue doing shakara. You did yanga for all of them. All right. At 28 years, you had about 7 guys still pestering you. Young lady, how far now? Let us do this thing now. Let's marry you now. Let me take you home to my parents now. And you still did yanga. All right. And now you are 35. Okay. And then somehow you are fortunate that you still have 3 guys asking for your hand in marriage. So the question now is, if you are the sister, if you are the lady, at what age do you think would have been the best age to say yes? Now we've looked at, these are 4 different junctions. 22 years, you had 10 people. 24 years, you had 13 people. 28 years, you had 7. 35 years, you had 3 people asking for your hand in marriage. So if you were the lady and you knowing all of this now, you had the ability to choose when you would have gotten married. At which of these 4 ages would you have actually preferred to just say yes and get everything rolling? Please, let's have your response in the comment sections, please. Can I have our comments in the comment section, please? I'm waiting for our responses. Or do you think this young lady should still do yanga at age 35 because she still has 3 guys asking her out? What do we think? Do you think she should have gotten married or said yes at 22, at 24, at 28, or at 35? At what age do you think would have been the best age for her to have said yes? All right, Mr. Sheundada, thank you for your response. Don't think too much about it. Don't think too much about it. this person cannot have a bad marriage. It's just about when would have been the best age to have gotten married. Okay, another 28, beautiful. We have 228 now. Can I have the rest of our opinions? I just need 2 more responses so that we can go on. Or even if it's 1. All right, 22. When there are a lot of choices. Beautiful. Thank you. Even though the most choices was still around 24 years. At 24, she had 13 prospects, 13 people saying, please marry me. All right, so we have 222s and 228s. Beautiful. 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 All right, so in my own opinion, according to my knowledge of trading, all right, I would have said that the optimal point to have said, okay, thank you, I'm saying yes now, is at 24 years. And listen to the reason. The reason is not only because that's the point where she had the highest number of suitors. The reason is because when she gets to the next junction, which is age 28, we can see a drastic reduction in the number of prospects from 13 to 7 rather. From 13 to 7. This is a drastic reduction in interest. All right. So if I had this kind of knowledge and I wanted to choose at what point to say yes and get married, I think 24 years would have been a very good age to say, okay, let's get married. Before my sense of appreciation begins to dwindle and I start losing confidence in myself and my self-esteem begins to dwindle. All right. So I personally, that's my personal opinion. All right. The reason is because as this lady begins to get older, we know that the older she gets, the lesser and lesser people will be interested in actually getting married to her. It's just the way life is. I'm sorry if anyone feels offended, but it's just the way life is. Sure, you understand. All right. So thank you. All right. So the way we make money in the Forex market is to ensure that you buy when the price is low. All right. And then you sell when the price is high. Okay? You sell when the price is high before it starts dropping. Okay? Or if you're a late comer, once you see that it's starting to drop, you sell it off. All right? So beautiful. So that's basically how we make money trading Forex. I'm still going to go into more details about that when we begin to do the analysis of the market. All right? There are just a few slides left and then we can wrap up for tonight. During the week, I'm going to begin to show you practical examples of what I'm talking about, all right? About the buying and then the selling, all right? I'm going to show you a couple of trades that I took today. You're going to see the date, you're going to see the total sum of profits and everything. I'm going to show you that on the Telegram group. All right, so basically there are 3 ways to look at price movement or to predict price movement. The first one is fundamental analysis, all right? The second one is technical analysis. And the third one is sentiment analysis. By the way, this slide, I'm also going to make it available in the Telegram channel so that we can all have it. And then it can be a reminder for us as we watch the video over again, all right? So, technical analysis and sentiment analysis, all right? So what is analysis? So the first is fundamental analysis, right? Using what is likely going to happen in the foreign exchange market, all right? following news predicting the forex market. People began to value their lives more than their possessions. And not that there is a supposed vaccine for COVID-19. It seems like the forex market is vaccine. So fundamental analysis simply describes using this event to predict what is the exchange market. So can you analysis and talk about those events? Actually, tell us as we get to drop all those things. Only if you use an iPhone, there's an app called Charlies, CAEAYS. Right, gives pretty great news updates. All right, on all of that. If you guys want to get some stock chain breakdowns in the US, the note CRADAYS trades. Let me see. Okay. I have a screenshot of that on the group. It's an app that gives you at the and tell you what to expect. All right, so thank you. I can see 2 people telling me that they understood. All right, so that gives me the signal to go ahead. All right, so the next system of analysis is what we call sentiment analysis. All right, sentiment analysis. And sentiment analysis simply describes you trading or analyzing price or predicting price movement based on the bias or sentiments of certain organizations, all right, of certain organizations. There are actually certain organizations that publish their outlook of what the market is going to look like. There are certain organizations that upload or that post a report on what they expect that the market would look like. All right. It's another name for it is traders commitment report, or the COT. All right. The COT report is published by certain organizations and market observers. All right. And then they, based on what they are seeing happening in the market, begin to make predictions on what exactly they would love to do. I think it's published every 3 months or so. I really can't recall now, but that's what sentiment analysis is about. All right, it's just talking about following the sentiment of certain organizations or big boys. All right. However, we really don't get to use sentiment analysis a lot because of the infrequency. You know, the frequency of the sentiment publications is not so frequent. So if you base your trading on just this, if you base your trading on that alone, you might really not get the best out of your trading. All right. So preferably what we do is we actually, which is something I'm going to be teaching us as we go on, as we progress in the classes. I'm going to be showing us how exactly to analyze the market with at least 87% accuracy. And Yusuf Sabina say, picking we get 87 over 100, it don't try, it don't pass. All right. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So that said, let's move on to the last and final, which is the most popular method of analyzing the market. Beautiful. Technical analysis. All right, technical analysis. This is actually technical analysis is actually the most popular, or at least one of the most popular methods of analysis. All right, and it simply talks about using statistical tools. Graphical and statistical tools rather, to analyze the market. All right, using graphical and statistical tools to analyze price movement or to predict price reactions. All right. So I'm going to talk majorly on technical analysis right now, because fundamental analysis is simpler, is easier to follow than technical analysis. Technical analysis is actually very broad, and it's one of the major things that the market revolves around. All right. So when we talk about technical analysis, we are talking about four major things. Four major things. We are talking about demand and supply. We are talking about support and resistance. We're talking about indicators, and we're talking about chart patterns. We're talking about chart patterns. All right, so guys, please give me just 5 minutes. I'm about to switch to generator. NEPA decided to take off the light right now. I'm based in Nigeria, so that should tell you that we cannot really rely on the government to provide us electrical power. So switching over to the some background noise, all right, but it's all for the best. It's all for the best. All right. So me, I feel like I should play you some music. All right. So if you can hear me, if you can still hear me clearly, noise, can you just say it in the comment section or comment? Can you hear clearly? The background is presents you in the room. Okay, all right. Thank you. So I think one of the four things. All right. We cannot talk about technical analysis without at least three or four things. So talking about technical analysis, anyone says like the one is let me quickly share my trading chart with you. Can we all see the screen? If you can see the screen, can you just indicate in the comment section? This thing has gone off again. Oh. All right, so I'm going to try sharing my screen again. I'm going to try sharing my screen again. All right, can we all see my screen? Can everybody see my screen? If you can see my screen, can you please indicate in the comment section that you can? All right. All right, beautiful. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm going to try to show you. I told you that I wanted to send you or to show you some part of what exactly is achievable in the financial market. All right, so I just want to show you this. This is actually a demo account. My real account is not on this system. I trade my real accounts from my phone, not from my system. All right, so as you can see, this is just my trading history for today. As you can see, the date is 14th of November 2020. Can we all see that? 14th of November 2020. All right, so I'm going to click OK now so you can see. And what's the total profit you're seeing? Can we all see where my mouse is pointing at? All right, so please, if you just see the message, just in the comment. If you can see the feed, and that's based on it. If you can see that figure, can you just type it on this on the chat? What the heck is wrong? Let me check if that is wrong. So what is this right now? All right, and predict what's most likely going to happen next. So we're going to be looking at all of these 4 things in detail as we go on in our understanding of technical analysis and in our training. But for the meantime, we'll stop at that. I'll just show you what that is. So what we'll look into next is what exactly makes a good Forex trader. How do I know whether or not I am a good Forex trader? So let's see the next slide. All right. So what makes a good Forex trader? It's not even about the strategy. It's not about how much money you are starting with. It's not about how long you have been trading for. It's simply about your attitude. Your attitude is what is going to determine how much success you will enjoy in the financial market. All right? If your attitude is not right, your trading cannot be right, no matter how hard you try. All right? So the first attitude is talking about patience. All right? And that describes the fact that the market may not immediately begin to move in your expected direction. All right? You must be confident in your strategy if truly your strategy is a good one. All right? There are a lot of traders who, once they have a strategy and then they make a trade and the market does not respond in their direction instantly, all right, the next thing they do is they throw that strategy in the dustbin and start looking for another one and another one and another one. And the search does not end because there are countless numbers of strategies in the financial market. All right, there are a ton of strategies that a person can use. But what makes you successful is not about the strategy, it's about understanding your strategy to the core. If it is a trustworthy one, then being patient and allowing your trades to play out. All right. The next thing, the next attitude we'll talk about is discipline. All right. Once you have a working strategy, you must be able to stick with it without allowing your emotions to interfere, including the standard stop loss levels. That means when you have a working strategy, all right, if you have a couple of bad trades and it is the same strategy that you have stuck with, you don't automatically throw that strategy away. You simply just learn more, all right? You discipline yourself, keep working hard on your strategy, sticking with it, following the rules of that strategy, because every strategy has specific rules that they obey, all right? So sticking true to that strategy, following it from start to finish, all right? That's one way to ensure that you have an attitude that will guarantee your success. Then the next character or the next attitude is objectivity. All right. You must be objective about your expectations. All right. Your expectations must be realistic and you must do your best to avoid greed. It must be a part of your trade. Do your best to avoid greed. Know when to exit a trade, especially when it is not a favorable trade. All right. A good trader will not place a trade first and then start praying to God to intervene in the trade. All right? It's like somebody who goes to the market first before asking God to provide money to buy what they want to buy. You're already at the market, so asking God to provide money to purchase what you want to purchase is really not happening. All right? If you haven't go to the market, the patient have been allowed to have the money before you go to the market. All right? So, allow me to take this further. Okay, so I'm back. So for someone to exit a trade, right, the trade is crucial. It allows you to do the thing at the right time, right? So the next thing we talk about is risk control. When the trade goes against your expected direction, you're able to track how much risk you are willing to take, especially before you enter the trade. You're supposed to track how much risk, all right, how much risk you're going to be taking per trade, all right? A reasonable risk to take is if you are able to risk, say, peradventure, 1 or 2% of your total equity. That is actually a reasonable, sensible risk to take. All right. So you must be able to control your risk and not risk more than necessary. All right, remember, avoid greed. The next attitude is focus. All right, don't try to be a jack of all trades. Don't try to have like 17 or 18 or 20 or to trade all the commodities. Be able to know which particular commodities or instruments you enjoy trading the most. All right, I have some professional colleagues who love commodities like Euro JPY. Shit, what a game. What a game. How would you just take off the internet like that? I don't can't apologize. I really can't apologize. But please just bear with me for tonight. Just bear with me for tonight. I am sincerely frustrated at what's going on. But please just bear with me. Just bear with me, please. Just bear with me, please. This is like a new experience for me when it comes to what my system is doing right now. It's like a whole new experience for me. So please just pardon me and bear with me as I try to navigate what exactly is wrong with my system. All right, but that said, so I was talking about focus. All right, I was talking about focus, and I was describing the fact that it's important that you know which commodities work best for you. For example, I have a colleague of mine who loves Euro JPY a lot. He trades it more than any other commodity. I have another colleague who trades NAS 100 or NASDAQ a lot. Is an indices. I know people who only trade gold. All right. I know people who only trade crypto. All right. So there are a lot of people who have a specific thing that they love to trade more than other things. All right. So be focused. Don't be a jack of all trades. Take your time. Figure out which commodities move best for you that you love to trade, that your strategy works best with. All right. And then the next attitude is that you must have a good strategy. All right. A good strategy must be able to give you clear entry and exit criteria. A good strategy must be able to show you when to enter a trade and why. And at the same time, when to exit a trade and why. All right. A good strategy must be built on a reliable structure, and it must be tested and trustworthy. All right. A good strategy must be all of that. All right. So the second to the last slide. Okay, sorry, the last slide. The next thing we're going to be looking into by God's grace, during the course of our next session, we're going to be looking into the chart environment and chart interpretations. The chart environment and chart interpretations. We're actually supposed to do some bits when it comes to Forex lingua and all of that, but we will not be doing that tonight. I'll be dropping a dictionary of Forex terms. All right, I'll be dropping a dictionary of Forex terms on the Telegram channel. Please do well to read through it. Please do well to read through it. Thank you so much and God bless you. So before we close for tonight, I would like to see if we have any questions whatsoever. If we have any questions, can you please indicate? If you have no questions also, please indicate in the group chat. Let me see whether or not we've been able to pass across something. All right, and if you've learned anything so tonight, regardless of the interruptions and internet, please let me see your comments in the group chat section. If you learned, if you feel that that was something you feel like, oh, well, it's not totally a bad one. If you, whenever it is, you have a comment, please let me see what you have to say. All right, are we getting inside the breaks? Yes, of course. I'm going to be together all of it. I'm going to every single break. Each of them recorded. So I'm going to try to work on my on my system and piece all of them together. I'm going to join every single one of those sessions together. So regardless of the breaks, you will definitely get all this piece together. All right, thank you so much for an awesome session. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Shion. Thank you a lot. Thank you so much. All right, we are criticism. What you would like to talk about? We have time to talk it. All right, all right, right. But for now, that is just Like simply analysis is correct. We'll see how in-depth simple analysis looks like impact. For simple explanation, let's one step. You have people say, it's fine. It's easy. All right, so that's your last says a good presentation failing all the way. Now, Jim, I want to say thank you so much for attending to this presentation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So during the week, I'm going to drop the Forex story, and at the same time, I'm going to some things that we can start to look forward to as we in terms of blend so much. Oh, sorry, I say sorry. I don't mind. I know you have my very I really didn't. It's beautiful having you. Thank you so much. Who to just drop everyone who missed out on this session, who really missed out on the interesting session. All right, so a beautiful rest of the week and an amazing week in advance. If you wake up tomorrow, you'll tomorrow. So one thing happens, rest. Good night, everybody, and God bless you.